In 2025, in the southern part of São Paulo, Brazil, in the Sacomã district, a densely built residential area. Inside a small apartment bedroom, a ring light shines directly onto the face of 27-year-old Luna Ambrosevi Abrahão. Luna is a social media personality with over 322,000 followers. It's Monday evening, May 19th. Luna is in her bedroom, setting up her smartphone on a tripod and starting a live stream. Within minutes, the number of viewers begins to spike, surpassing her usual numbers as her followers start sharing the stream rapidly. The stream is focused on changes in her personal life. Speaking into the microphone, Luna announces that she's decided to break up with Alex de Oliveira for good. At that moment, there's a noise from the hallway. A key turns in the lock. The front door opens, then closes. Luna stops speaking, looks away from the screen, and turns her head toward the hallway. She's expecting another one of Alex's uninvited visits. Seconds later, there's a loud metallic sound from the kitchen, like someone digging through a drawer of utensils. Someone is quickly going through the compartment where kitchen knives are usually kept. Luna remains seated in front of the ring light. She doesn't move or lock the door. She's used to Alex making loud, unexpected appearances. What she doesn't realize is that this time the pattern has changed. A man's silhouette appears in the doorway of her room. At that moment, the live stream shows over 200,000 people watching. Viewers aren't seeing typical influencer content. They're witnessing a physical confrontation in real time. The camera remains fixed on the tripod, capturing only parts of what's happening. Rapid shadow movement on the wall, the edge of the bed. The audio shifts. Instead of Luna's calm voice, there are dull thuds and short bursts of speech. Luna manages to yell out that she's been struck. In the comment section, things spiral into chaos. People from different cities and countries are witnessing a crime unfold in real time. Viewers begin trying to take action through the app's interface. Some start posting urgent messages, telling others to contact the authorities. Others begin analyzing the background in the video, trying to match it with earlier posts Luna had shared to pinpoint the exact apartment complex in the Sacomã area. A group of Luna's followers based in São Paulo starts calling emergency services, reporting what they're seeing live, a possible assault in progress. Meanwhile, Instagram's automated systems detect signs of aggressive behavior in the video. The platform's content moderation software kicks in. The live stream is suddenly shut down. Viewers' screens go black, replaced with a notice about a violation of community guidelines. The stream cuts off at the exact moment Luna appears to be trying to show her injuries to the camera. For over 200,000 people, the connection to that small apartment in Sacomã is lost. Luna's condition becomes unclear. What was moments ago a live stream intended for social engagement is now a critical piece of digital evidence, preserved on platform servers and in the screen recordings saved by hundreds of users. It's no longer content. It's now central to a criminal investigation. While viewers online frantically try to reach emergency services, real help comes from just beyond the wall. Luna's next-door neighbor, a man named Renato, is in his apartment when he hears screams coming from the unit next door. The building's thin walls do little to muffle the sounds of a struggle. Renato steps out into the hallway and quickly realizes the noise is coming from Luna's place. Her apartment door is unlocked, left that way after the assailant fled. Inside, he finds Luna on the bedroom floor. Her aunt, Marcela, is there too. She had been in the apartment at the time of the attack, but was frozen in psychological shock after witnessing what happened in the hallway. She wasn't able to react until after the attacker had left. Renato sees that Luna is bleeding heavily and jumps into action. He grabs a clean cloth to apply pressure to the wounds, trying to slow the blood loss. His main goal is to keep her conscious until paramedics arrive. Marcela, having snapped out of her frozen state, calls emergency services again. This time, she confirms the attack already took place and that the suspect is no longer on the scene. The entryway and bedroom quickly turn into an improvised emergency response area. Renato notes that Luna is still able to speak, despite her condition. He tells her not to move, fearing it could make the bleeding worse. Minutes later, an ambulance pulls up to the complex in Sakoma. Paramedics enter with trauma kits in hand. They take over from Renato and begin life-saving procedures on site. Renato and Marcella step aside to give the medical team space to work. Luna is placed on a stretcher and prepared for immediate transport to the nearest hospital. Officers from the São Paulo Police Department arrive nearly at the same time as the medics. A team begins a preliminary investigation of the apartment. In the bedroom, still lit by the ring light, investigators document a chaotic scene. Furniture knocked out of place, bloodstains on the floor and on the bedding. The smartphone used for the live stream is secured as evidence. In the kitchen, drawers are open. One of them is missing a knife, which authorities believe may have been the weapon used in the crime. At the hospital, medical personnel assess the full extent of Luna's injuries. The 27-year-old has sustained 10 stab wounds. The trauma is unevenly distributed. Several hits to the head caused damage to soft tissue and even parts of the skull. Deep wounds are also recorded on her back. Her hand and foot were also injured, suggesting she tried to shield herself and fight back with her legs. Doctors diagnose her with traumatic shock and significant blood loss. She is rushed into surgery without delay. During the night of May 20th, a surgical team begins an emergency operation. Their goal is to repair damaged blood vessels, treat deep lacerations, stop internal bleeding, and prevent the onset of infection. Meanwhile, investigators continue working at the apartment in Sakoma. Detectives interview Luna's aunt, Marcella. She confirms the identity of the attacker, Alex de Oliveira, Luna's former partner. Authorities begin collecting information on Alex's vehicle and possible escape routes. The first official classification of the incident is recorded in the investigation report: an attempted intentional act of harm against a woman stemming from personal conflict. The life of 27-year-old Luna Ambrasevi Abrahao reflects the rise of the digital economy in mid-2020s São Paulo. Before the events in Sakoma, her career path appeared carefully planned and executed. Luna grew up in Brazil and, from a young age, invested time into building skills that later became the foundation of her success. Her involvement in professional dance, including the pole dance style, wasn't just a hobby. These years of training shaped her athletic image and gave her a distinctive way of moving. A combination that opened doors in the world of commercial modeling. By early 2025, Luna's digital presence had reached its peak. Her Instagram account had grown to a following of 322,000. But Luna wasn't just another lifestyle influencer. Her content followed a clear philosophy and commercial framework. She created a series of original videos centered on action-based affirmations and psychological resilience. Luna used her platform to promote financial independence for women, a message that earned her deep loyalty from her audience and brand deals with major fashion and beauty retailers. In May of that same year, she launched her most ambitious business venture, an independent line of designer swimwear. Luna personally oversaw every stage of production, from design approval to shipping logistics, taking on the dual role of founder and face of the brand. Luna's educational path was also part of her long-term strategy. She studied in the visual arts department at the University of Brazil. That background allowed her to take full creative control over the visual style of her social media, from framing and lighting to color grading. It gave her content a distinctive edge in a crowded market. Away from the camera, Luna's life revolved around her 4-year-old daughter, Serena. She was a single mom and provided her daughter with a high standard of living, including access to private education centers and quality medical care. Her lifestyle was fully independent. She paid her own rent in Sakama, owned her own vehicle, and made regular visits to aesthetic clinics to maintain her appearance, which was essential to her modeling work. Her last social media post, made 8 days before the incident, showed Luna and Serena together at home, celebrating Mother's Day. The photo marked the final chapter in Luna's public image, that of a successful, self-made woman. According to investigators, that image may have become a point of resentment for someone who had entered her life during college. The identity of Alex de Oliveira became the central focus of the forensic investigation shortly after authorities confirmed his involvement in the attack. Alex, the same age as Luna, came into her life in 2024. They met at the University of Brazil, where he was enrolled in the same program. Early in the relationship, Alex portrayed himself as a financially secure partner, someone whose lifestyle matched the public image of a rising model. He quickly embedded himself into Luna's digital life, appearing in photos from restaurants, vacations, and weekend outings. To her followers, they looked like a well-balanced couple. But as detectives with the civil police dug deeper, they uncovered serious discrepancies in Alex's financial background. Unlike Luna's transparent business ventures, his income sources couldn't be traced. He wasn't employed by any registered company, nor did he have documented tax filings or business ownership. Still, in the first year of their relationship, Alex employed a tactic investigators refer to as material overcompensation, showering Luna with expensive gifts and covering lavish outings. The investigation describes this phase as an intentional setup to create a sense of emotional and psychological indebtedness in the victim. Over time, Alex's role shifted from partner to controller. He started interfering with Luna's professional life, positioning himself as an unofficial manager. He showed up at photo shoots and began managing who she interacted with in the industry. Luna slowly became isolated from her professional network. Alex worked systematically to establish full control, not just over her devices and online presence, but emotionally as well. He exercised increasing dominance, setting the stage for a pattern of escalating behavior that would eventually turn aggressive. By early 2025, the atmosphere inside Luna Abrahao's apartment in Sakoma had started to shift. Neighbors began hearing frequent arguments through the walls. According to witness statements collected by São Paulo police, confrontations occurred multiple times a week. Residents reported hearing shouting, along with the sound of objects breaking. In one documented incident, Alex de Oliveira smashed a decorative vase during an argument. The broken pieces were later recovered by investigators during their examination of the apartment. Alex's aggressive behavior extended beyond the apartment itself. One notable case involved deliberate property damage. He punctured the tires on Luna's car, which was parked outside the building. She chose not to file a police report at the time and continued presenting a positive image online, sharing upbeat content on Instagram. Close acquaintances later told investigators that Alex had begun using physical force against her. They confirmed that she often showed up to events or shoots with visible marks, which she concealed with makeup and carefully chosen clothing. The most serious incident before the attack happened just a week earlier, in mid-May 2025. According to official reports, Alex blocked Luna inside her own apartment. He took her smartphone, cutting off her ability to contact anyone. For several hours, he kept her confined and prevented her from leaving. This event became the turning point. Luna made the decision to end the relationship. On May 19th, during a window when Alex was away, she regained control of her devices and started the live stream, the one where she planned to speak openly about the breakup and the aggressive behavior she had endured. What she didn't know was that Alex still had a key to the apartment. After Luna was transported to the hospital, forensic specialists began reviewing the live stream recording in detail. The video, saved by viewers, became a key piece of evidence. Digital analysts went frame by frame to reconstruct the moment of the attack, which clearly showed Alex de Oliveira's face and the object in his hand. The footage confirmed that the attack began suddenly while Luna was seated, leaving her no chance to escape. Investigators then accessed Luna's messaging history from her confiscated smartphone. In her cloud backups, they found both text and voice messages from Alex, all sent within the 48 hours leading up to the incident. These messages contained direct threats, warning her not to leave him or expose their issues publicly. Technical analysis showed that Alex had been tracking Luna's online activity. The moment she went live, he received a notification on his phone. Investigators believe that alert is what triggered his immediate decision to head to her apartment. An important part of the investigation came from the online community. Followers who had been watching the live stream provided police with geolocation data that helped reconstruct Alex's movements that night. The digital trail confirmed that immediately after the attack, Oliveira powered down his phone, making it harder to trace him through cell towers. São Paulo police officially entered the live stream footage into evidence, treating it as undeniable proof of an attempted crime with gender-based motive. With over 200,000 people watching live, the defense had little room to argue that Alex's actions were accidental or driven by self-defense. Through a combination of forensic reenactment and witness testimony, investigators were able to recreate the events of May 19th with near-minute accuracy. Around 9 p.m., Luna Abrahão starts her live stream from inside her bedroom. At that moment, her aunt Marcela is in the hallway. Alex de Oliveira arrives at the Sacoma apartment complex. He passes the front desk without issue. Staff recognize him, so he's not questioned, and he takes the elevator up, using his own set of keys. Alex opens the apartment door and immediately encounters Marcela in the hallway. According to her testimony, he looked calm but focused. He said to her, "Forgive me for what I'm about to do." Marcela, used to his overly dramatic apologies after prior arguments, assumed he was there to start another fight or collect his belongings. She didn't try to stop him. But Alex heads straight to the kitchen. He opens a drawer, grabs a knife, and walks into the bedroom. Luna sees him in the doorway, but continues talking, likely believing the presence of the camera would protect her. Alex doesn't say a word. He delivers the first blow to her head while she's still seated. During the struggle, Luna falls to the floor, trying to shield herself with her arms and legs. Alex continues attacking, ignoring Marcela's screams. Realizing what's happening, she goes into shock. 10 strikes in total are later documented. After the assault, Alex drops the weapon and leaves the apartment in a hurry. He avoids the elevator, taking the stairs, and disappears before the first patrol unit arrives on scene. The entire attack lasted less than 7 minutes. Luna is left on the floor, surrounded by blood. The Instagram live stream keeps running for several more seconds, capturing only silence, broken by the sound of her labored breathing. After doctors at the São Paulo hospital confirmed Luna's condition had stabilized, the investigation shifted focus to locating the suspect. Alex de Oliveira had not returned to his place of residence and was no longer responding to calls or messages from family members. State police formally charged de Oliveira under Brazilian criminal law with attempted gender-based aggravated assault and domestic aggression. If convicted, these charges could result in a prison sentence of up to 30 years. The legal process was complicated by conflicting media reports. Within the first 48 hours following the incident in Sacoma, several news outlets claimed that Alex had already been taken into custody. However, a spokesperson for the civil police, quickly denied those reports, confirming that the suspect was still on the run. A judge issued a warrant for de Oliveira's arrest, and a protective order was put in place for Luna Abrahao, legally prohibiting Alex from making any form of contact with her or her family. The live stream video was officially entered into the case file as a central piece of evidence. Investigators confirmed that the footage documented not only the attack itself, but also showed the attacker's face clearly. A technical forensics team analyzed the stream's metadata to establish a precise timeline of Alex's actions. While de Oliveira remained in hiding, several community organizations in São Paulo launched public campaigns demanding stricter enforcement of protective orders. His name was added to the Public Safety Most Wanted database, and his photo was distributed to all border checkpoints in an effort to prevent him from leaving the country. Luna Abrahao spent several days in the intensive care unit. Once her vital signs stabilized, she was moved to a general ward to begin a long and difficult rehabilitation process. The 10 stab wounds required multiple reconstructive surgeries. Surgeons focused on repairing damage to soft tissue in her head and back, as well as tendons in her hand and foot, areas injured as Luna tried to defend herself during the assault. Physical therapists were brought in to assist, as the injuries to her limbs temporarily limited her mobility. Once she regained access to her phone, Luna reached out to her audience for the first time since the attack. Her profile, once filled with posts about fashion and entrepreneurship, now featured a written update on her condition. She shared details of her recovery and described surviving the attack as a second chance at life. She wrote that her biggest motivation for enduring the painful medical procedures was her 4-year-old daughter, Serena. In the same post, Luna expressed her deep gratitude to her neighbor, Renato, whose quick actions to control the bleeding before emergency services arrived were critical, and to her aunt Marcella, who made the emergency call that brought help to the scene. Luna's recovery process was accompanied by mounting pressure from the outside media. She noted that some outlets attempted to shift partial responsibility onto her, analyzing her behavior during the live stream. At the same time, some followers demanded immediate statements and full details of the incident. Despite that, Luna focused her energy on physical rehabilitation and psychological therapy to recover from the trauma of the attack. Flowers and letters from supporters were delivered to her hospital room, but access remained restricted under security supervision. She made it clear that her goal was to fully recover her health, return to her studies at the University of Brazil, and resume operations of her swimwear business, even though at that point she still required medical staff to assist with movement. The events in Sacoma sparked a legal and social reaction that extended well beyond Brazil. Luna Abrahao's story became a clear illustration of the dangerous disconnect between a carefully curated digital identity and a hidden physical reality. For a long time, her social media projected the image of unshakable success, while behind the scenes she was enduring systematic control. Her public status, academic achievements in the arts, and financial independence had created only the illusion of safety, an illusion shattered within minutes during a live stream. The case remains a top priority for São Paulo's investigative authorities. Luna's situation also triggered a global conversation about live-streamed incidents and how social platforms handle emergency moderation. Her case became a critical precedent. Technical experts are still reviewing the delay in the platform's automated systems, which failed to cut the stream immediately after a weapon was visible on screen. The incident is expected to prompt an overhaul of international safety protocols for all major streaming services. The apartment where the attack took place is no longer used for filming. All recording equipment was seized as evidence by law enforcement. Luna, meanwhile, continues the slow process of physical rehabilitation, documenting her progress in therapy. This story is no longer entertainment content. It's now a case study exposing the harsh statistics of domestic aggression, where even maximum visibility does not guarantee protection. Luna's life is now forever divided into before and after May 19th. The outcome of the ongoing trial will determine whether this case finds closure, or if the name Alex de Oliveira remains on the list of unresolved fugitives in the hands of Brazilian law enforcement.